Make sure this light is good. Okay. Should be good. What's up, guys? I appreciate you guys tuning in. Before we even went live, man, we already got over 100 viewers. I haven't even went live yet. We've already got over 100 viewers. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. We already got a lot of questions in chat. I guess I'll start from the top and try to answer all these questions. For today's slate, news-wise, the only news we got was out of Golden State. It was kind of expected. Steph Curry not playing tonight. Draymond Green also going to be out. Plus, Juan Toscano Anderson is out as well. There's definitely going to be a lot to talk about from Golden State. I kind of went into this slate when I made my video yesterday. I was expecting Steph to be out. I thought there was a possibility Draymond would be out too. Obviously, both those guys are out. So, Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, Gary Payton. I think all these guys look really good. I'm expecting Otto Porter to start in place of Draymond. I think Otto Porter at 5,500 is playable. I think off the bench, Bjelica probably gets like low 20s minutes, 3,400. I really like Bjelica as a kind of punt value play. But definitely Poole and Wiggins, I expect get a lot of usage. I expect to take all the shots. We did see, so back in November, it was a back-to-back. I think it was November 19th when they played the Pistons. We did see them play that game without Draymond and without Steph. I think Wiggins had 27 points. He shot the ball like 20 times. Jordan Poole had like 32 points. He shot the ball like 22 times. You're just going to see a lot of opportunity for both Wiggins and Poole. I think both those guys are really good plays now. Now that we officially know Steph and Draymond are out, I think Porter is viable. I think Gary Payton's a pretty decent value. And then if you want to, punt value play, I definitely like Bjelica coming off the bench, just because he's a really good point per minute player and should play, low 20s minutes without Draymond and without JTA. That's kind of the update from Golden State. That's really the only news we got so far. We definitely want to see who they start. And okay, we did just get a starting lineup. So Gary Payton, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Otto Porter, Kevon Looney. So that's what I expected to be. So yeah, all 5 of those starters, even Looney I think is fine, but definitely Payton, Poole, Wiggins I like quite a bit. And I think Porter's solid. I think Looney's a viable cheap play, and then Bjelica off the bench I like a good amount too. Definitely going to be kind of focusing on Golden State today. You kind of have to, because all these guys are mispriced, for Steph being out. The price tags weren't adjusted. But I want to hit on this super chat we got from my man T Money. $5 super chat, not around much these days, but I'm still watching, liking every content you produce. You the man, Noah. Follow you to the end. Let's get it, fam. Hey, appreciate you, T Money. Thank you for the super chat, man. Even when T Money can't be in the chat, when he can't even be watching streams, he's freaking donating, man. I appreciate you, T Money. You don't have to donate, but I appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you. All right, we're gonna start from the top, and I'm gonna try to answer all these questions. We already had a lot of questions before I went live. Who's a good replacement for Trey Lyles? I have $19 remaining. Already have Jalen Smith. Let's see. Probably, Alec Burks I like quite a bit. I'm expecting Alec Burks to start at point guard. He played like 36 minutes last game, starting at point guard, so I would probably go Alec Burks there, assuming you don't already have him. No ever say if he does prop picks on his Patreon. Yeah, if you're a Patreon member, I do give out some of my favorite prize picks plays each day. Usually around 1 o'clock Eastern, I'll kind of post my favorite picks that I like early on in the day. And then, usually before the game start, I'll post my actual entries. So once I get off the stream, I'll post the entries that I am playing on Prize Picks. So if you want to tail me, you can do that too if you're a Patreon member. Who are some of the best centers for the $19 price range? Center on Yahoo, there's not a lot of options. You're either paying up for J-Val or you're going to like Robert Williams, Steven Adams. I don't think I really want to play Mitchell Robinson. Maybe Isaiah Stewart you could play. But I think for Yahoo center, I'm just going to pay up for J-Val. I think he's the best center play on Yahoo by a mile. Morris or Barrett, I would go Marcus Morris. Morris or Triple J, give me Marcus Morris. But also Brandon Ingram, he's a fine GPP option. Not a priority for me on this slate, but at 8,100, I think that's cheap enough for Ingram to where he's at least viable. And I definitely like Golden State sitting Curry, sitting Draymond. I think makes it a lot more likely this game stays close. I think right now the spread's only like 2 points or something, so we should get big minutes from Brandon Ingram if the game stays close. Iguodala for value or Winslow. Iguodala I guess is playable. I don't know how much Iguodala plays off the bench. Probably like low 20s minutes, so I think he's fine. I probably would play Iguodala over Winslow. I think with Nicholas Batum back, I really wouldn't be on Winslow personally. How you feel about, or Golden State, I'm liking Poole and Payton. How you feel about them plus Wiggins? I think, yeah, all 3 of those guys, Poole, Payton, Wiggins, all pretty strong plays. Can't go wrong with any of them. Well, best Yahoo plays on new over there. It's different from FanDuel. Any suggestions on Yahoo? I mean, kind of the same guys. Like, you're going to be looking to Golden State, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Gary Payton. Like, all those guys look great on Yahoo. J-Val, I think, is a great play on Yahoo, just given the lack of options at center. So that's 4 guys right there you could start with. That's almost half a lineup for you if you want to build around those 4. Booker or CP3. I think Booker, just straight up, if you have the salary, you can play. But, like, given the savings on DraftKings, I would say CP3. But, like, I know if you play Yahoo, they're, like, the same price tag. Maybe side with Booker there. Always love the satisfying music, such a vibe. Hey, you love to see it, baby. Got to keep the music flowing. Good vibes only. I would not play Iggy. Ingram is a lock for me. I mean, I wouldn't say Ingram's a lock, but there you go. How many Warriors would be too much to play? I think probably 4 is the max. I don't think I'd play 5 Warriors, but I think 3-4 is probably good in my opinion. All right, another $5 super chat. I got to hit on this from Edward. Happy New Year, Noah. What are your thoughts on Brandon Clark and Biyombo? Brandon Clark, I'm not that interested in. Like, especially if Kyle Anderson returns, if Dylan Brooks returns, like, there's a lot of guys questionable right now for Memphis. So we're gonna have to wait and see if Brooks, Anderson, Melton all play. If they all play, I mean, Memphis is gonna have a lot of bodies. So, I mean, Clark, I think he played he played 25 minutes last game. He was really productive. I mean, at 4,400, like, I don't think he's a great value, especially if, like, Kyle Anderson plays and some of these other questionable guys play. But on a 4-game slate, if you want to go there, I don't mind it. But, like, who else is priced around him? Let me see. I want to say there's some guys priced around him that I would rather play. Well, maybe not. I mean, yeah, I think Clark's fine. And then Biyombo, yeah, so Biyombo, he really benefited last game with Jalen Smith getting in foul trouble. If Jalen Smith gets in foul trouble again, obviously Biyombo is going to benefit. But I think most nights you're going to see those 2 split the center minutes. You're probably going to get like 28 minutes from Smith and 20 minutes from Biyombo. So between the two, I mean, I would definitely rather play Jalen Smith. I think his minutes are just more secure. But if you want to fade Jalen Smith, hope he gets in foul trouble or something, and obviously Biyombo would benefit in that scenario, you could do that. It's a 4-game slate. But thank you for the super chat, Edward. I appreciate it, man. Dude, we have so many freaking questions. Holy crap. I'm so behind. It's going to be hard to answer all these questions. If you just ask them again, I'm just going to start from the bottom because there's just too many to hit on. So if I didn't get your question answered, if you asked earlier, just ask it again. We'll start under the super chat from Edward. We'll start from there. Biyombo or Bielitsa? I would take Bielitsa straight up, especially because he's a little bit cheaper. Favorite Clippers, Jackson and Morris? I mean, I think, yeah, both Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris are in play. Between the two, I prefer Marcus Morris. He's been really good. Without Paul George, he's been scoring a ton. The matchup against Phoenix is not great. There's some blowout risk there, but I think if the game stays close, you probably get pretty decent games from both Jackson and Marcus Morris. Cunningham or Booker? Give me Booker straight up. Would you play Chris Paul and Devin Booker in the same lineup? On a 4-game slate, I think it's okay. Usually, you're kind of capping your ceiling when you play both those guys in the same lineup, but like if the game's really high scoring, if the game stays close, it wouldn't be surprising to see Booker and CP3 both go for like 50. RJ Barrett or Otto Porter? I would take RJ Barrett. Cunningham or Wiggins? Give me Wiggins. Is Trey Lyles a play tonight? With Isaiah Stewart back, I don't have any interest in Trey Lyles. Rank your favorite Warriors? It's probably Poole, Payton, Wiggins, Bielitsa, Looney, probably like in that order. And I think Porter's fine too. Like those 6, I think are the ones I'm really focused on, but definitely Poole, Payton, Wiggins, my 3 favorites. 4,400 guard. Let's see. I mean, you're probably going Cameron Payne there. I don't see too much else in that range I really like. Unless by some chance, Dylan Brooks is out, D'Anthony Melton's out, Desmond Bane's out, then you could play Tyus Jones, but I'm expecting those questionable guys to play, so I would say go to Cameron Payne. CP3 and Cam Johnson or John Bielitsa? Give me John Bielitsa. Otto Burks or Barrett, I can afford. I don't know which one. Already have Payton, Poole, and Wiggins. I would say Burks between those 3. Bielitsa play, yeah, Bielitsa coming off the bench, I definitely like. I think Bielitsa plays like at least like 20, 22 minutes. He's a really good point per minute player. He's cheap. He's definitely in play for me. Wiggins or Hart on DK? Give me Wiggins. Serge or Batum? Probably Ibaka if he's starting still. I think Batum coming back definitely kind of caps Ibaka a little bit, kind of caps his minutes a little bit. But if Ibaka is still starting, then I probably would play him over Batum. What's up, man? Nice to be here. I have $21 on Yahoo for you two. I have Peyton, Poole, Ja, Wiggins, Randall, Smith, and J-Val. Let's see. Do you have Burks? Let me see. Poole, Peyton, Ja, Wiggins, Randall, Smith, J-Val. Okay, I would say Burks then. Burks would be my play there for 18. Will Isaiah Stewart be on a minutes limit? I don't think we have any word on that. I'm expecting Stewart to start and play his normal minutes, so I don't think he'll be limited, but no confirmation yet. Any prospects you like in? A lot of the Golden State guys, I think on prospects are a little bit too low. So, Jordan Poole, they have him at 19.5 points. Like last time Curry and Draymond were out, Jordan Poole shot the ball 22 times and he scored 32 points. So, I think over 19.5 points for Jordan Poole looks great. I think Wiggins, his over looks pretty good too. I think all those Golden State guys, Otto Porter, Jordan Poole, even Gary Payton, like all their point projections look a little bit too low because those are going to be the guys like doing all the scoring for Golden State tonight. And my entry on prospects tonight, I haven't posted it yet, I haven't submitted it yet, but it's probably going to have a couple Golden State guys in it. Robinson or Steven Adams? I would say Steven Adams straight up. Morant and Morris or Cade and Randall? Give me Morant and Marcus Morris there. Brown or D-Book on DK? Give me D-Book. J-Val and Stewart or Smith and Ingram? Give me Smith and Ingram. But that's a really close one, Bill. 4100 util on DK. Let's see. I mean, again, like depending on who winds up in for Memphis, you could maybe go to Tyus Jones if Brooks, Bane, Melton, like if some of those guys get ruled out. I'm expecting Bane to be out because he's doubtful, but I think there's a pretty good chance that that Melton plays, that Dylan Brooks plays. Maybe Tyus Jones, he might be your best bet, honestly, because there's not much down here. Unless you want to go all the way down to Bielitsa, who's 3,400. You could do that. You're probably looking at like Tyus Jones or going all the way down to Bielitsa. Maybe Looney. Morant, Burks, Marcus Morris, Triple J, Lyles, Poole. Yeah, Lyles I'm not on anymore. I mean, now that Isaiah Stewart's playing, I have no interest in Lyles. But the rest of that lineup looks solid, Jace. Burks, Cunningham, Morant, Wiggins, Porter, Barrett, J-Val, Poole, and Yahoo. Burks, Cunningham, Morant, Wiggins, Porter, J-Val, Poole. I think that's solid, Brandon. Thoughts on Josh Hart and Herbert Jones? I mean, Josh Hart should play a ton. I think he's definitely in play on this slate. Herbert Jones is someone I don't really play that often. He's kind of like a 3-and-D guy. Like he just kind of shoots threes. He plays good defense. Usually when Herbert Jones has good games, it's because he racks up a lot of steals and blocks. He's kind of like a better version of Matisse Thybulle. I mean, he's a better permanent player than like Matisse Thybulle is, but they kind of do the same thing. They're just out there for defense. So Herbert Jones I'm not that high on, but I think Josh Hart's definitely in play. I have $40 left on Yahoo for a center and a util. I got J-Val in center, Serge at util. Any suggestions, thoughts on Serge? I mean, I would probably say like J-Val and Bielitsa. I'd play Bielitsa over Ibaka, I think, just straight up, if it was my lineup. But if you want to play Ibaka, I mean, that's fine. Is Marcus Smart a good play? Not really. I mean, the Celtics are fully healthy right now. I don't see Smart really being a great play on this slate, personally, at his price point. 4K and under util, got Josh Jackson at the moment. I would say probably Bielitsa or Looney, like one of those Golden State guys. Like if you're looking for punt value plays today, you're probably looking to the Warriors just because they're like the most shorthanded team. Josh Jackson, I don't know about Josh Jackson, to be honest with you, especially with Cade back. With Diallo and Bay playing a ton of minutes every night. Like I don't really know what the ceiling is for Josh Jackson, to be honest with you. Peyton, Poole, Hart, Otto Porter, Smith, Paul, Wiggins, Ingram. I think that's solid, Bill. I think that's solid. 3,900 forward, it's Bielitsa for sure. He's probably your best play there. Cunningham and Bielitsa or Wiggins and Stewart. Man. Give me Wiggins and Stewart, but that's a really close one. Steven Adams or Jalen Smith? I would say Jalen Smith. Would you play Poole and Wiggins in the same lineup? Yeah, you can totally do that. It's fine. Without Steph, I mean, those are going to be the two guys like dominating the usage and taking all the shots. So, yeah, you can definitely play Poole and Wiggins together. Tatum or Randall? I would prefer Randall straight up. Would you still play Ja with the massive value and studs from Golden State game? I mean, I still think Ja is one of the better pay-up options today. There's not a ton of great spins. Obviously, Curry's not available anymore. So, like, your pay-up options today are Tatum, Randall, Ja, and then, like, I guess Jaylen Brown. But I think Ja, like, between Tatum, Randall, and Ja, like, Ja's my favorite of those three. So, I think Ja's still a really good pay-up option. And it's fairly easy to play him if you want to, because there's value. There has been value that's opened up. Julius Randle and Taj Gibson or J-Val and campaign. Give me J-Val and campaign. Gabriel, that's a close one though. Still liking CP3 and Ja. Yeah, I think both CP3 and Ja still look really good. CP3 on DraftKings is definitely too cheap. Thoughts on Cam Johnson, DK? I mean, at his DK price tag, he's playable. But I think his price tag has gotten to a point where you're kind of really capping the upside on Cam Johnson. Like if he goes out there and scores 30 DraftKings points, which almost feels like a really good game for him, at his price point, like that's not really winning you anything. Can you rank your top 3 pay-up options on Yahoo? It's probably Ja. Julius Randle's I really like on Yahoo. He's definitely too cheap there. And then probably J-Val if you consider him a pay-up. Is J-Val your favorite center option? I mean, if you have unlimited salary, yeah, I would definitely be playing J-Val at center if you can fit him. Cade Cunningham is 6,800 on FanDuel. Would that price interest you? Yeah, I mean, 6,800 on FanDuel, that's really cheap for Cade Cunningham. Especially when you compare that he is 7,900 on DraftKings. Morris or Wiggins? Give me Wiggins straight up. Do you like CP3 and D-Book? I mean, yeah, I think both are in play. You could play both in the same lineup. I think it's fine, but I think one of the two is pretty good. On DraftKings, I think CP3, given the savings, looks better just because he's so much cheaper. $28 or under on Yahoo. Let's see. I mean, probably Josh Hart or Andrew Wiggins, Marcus Morris, one of those three. Probably I'd guess Josh Hart would be the guy I'd go with there. Any interest in Terrence Mann? I mean, I think with Paul George still out, with Luke Kennard still out, Terrence Mann's going to play a lot. Points per minute wise, he's not a great point per minute player, but he's going to play a ton of minutes. So I think that's really all you really want to see at his price point. You want to see him on the court, and he's going to be on the court for 34, 35 minutes if it's a close game. So I think Terrence Mann's playable for sure. Who's better, Jackson Jr., Jalen Smith, or Josh Hart? Price doesn't matter. I would take Josh Hart between the three. Would you play Jaylen Brown or Tatum to get different? I think if you want to, yeah. I don't see much ownership coming from that first game. I think the Boston-New York game is the most unappealing game on the slate just because the pricing is accurate. Both these teams are almost to full strength except, the Knicks are still missing D Rose and Kemba Walker, but the pricing has kind of adjusted for that. On the Boston side, everyone's fully healthy, so there's not really any standout plays in this first game. So yeah, if you want to get different, you can play Tatum. He's going to be lower owned than some other guys, I would think, because he doesn't really project that well at his salary. Neither does Jaylen Brown. Any interest in Stewart now? I think he's viable on a short site like this, but I do worry a little bit about his minutes just because, Luka Garza's been getting run lately without Stewart. I don't know if Stewart comes back and just plays 30 plus minutes. I think he might get mid 20s, and then they'll play Trey Lyles at center some. They'll probably give Luka Garza some minutes. The 35, 33 minutes, I don't think we get that from Stewart tonight. He played 41 game. I think 25, 26 is probably where he ends up at. Which at 4,600, I mean, yeah, 25 minutes from Isaiah Stewart, he could give you, 26, 28 DK points and be solid, but I do question his upside. We've kind of seen guys really struggle in their first game back from protocols. Tatum didn't do well that yesterday, or do that well yesterday. I think Isaiah Stewart's fine, but not a priority for me. Bridges or Payton? No strong lean there. I guess I'd say Mikal Bridges, probably just because he plays more minutes, but yeah, no strong lean there between those two. J-Val and Stewart or Ingram and Smith? I think I answered that one already. Is Ja the GPP play and Graham the cash play? We talking about Devontae Graham? I mean, Devontae Graham I would not be playing in cash. If you're playing Devontae Graham in cash, I mean, yeah, you're lighting your money on fire. I mean, why are you playing 5,900 Devontae Graham in cash when you can play Jordan Poole in cash who just projects 5 points, 10 points better? I mean, yeah, don't play Devontae Graham in cash games, please. Save your money. 5,200 forward. Let's see. I mean, probably Terrence Mann you're looking to there. Probably Terrence Mann or Mikal Bridges, one of those two. Yeah, I saw that, Mark. Honestly, I wasn't expecting Bielisa to start. I was expecting him to start Otto Porter. I think Bielitsa not starting, you know, I'll maybe bump him down in the rankings on Patreon, but he's still a pretty decent play in my opinion. Especially if you're looking for like a punt value. I think Bielitsa is one of the best punt values. Like, we don't have much below 4K. Bielitsa, I do like below 4K. 6,200 Ford. I mean, probably Triple J, Alec Burks, RJ Barrett, like one of those three. Probably Alec Burks would be my favorite. Best $10 player, it's probably Bielitsa. Yeah. Favorite centers? I mean, J-Val, if you have the salary. If you're going cheap, you could play Bielitsa at center. Steven Adams is a fine option on this slate. But like, Bielitsa is the best center play if you can fit him. Or not Bielitsa, but J-Val. Morris or Jalen Smith, give me Marcus Morris. Poole or Burks, give me Jordan Poole, just straight up. Where does Randall rank on your list of pay-ups? I mean, he's probably like second or third behind Ja. If you consider J-Val a pay-up, I'd probably put J-Val ahead of him. I like Randall a lot more on Yahoo than I do Draftkings. Just, he's a lot cheaper on Yahoo. 5,300 or less power forward on DK. Oh, let's see. I mean, yeah, Jalen Smith for sure. You're playing there. Barrett and Burks or Payton and Hart. Give me Barrett and Burks. Wiggins or Hart. Give me Wiggins. Reggie Jackson or Chris Paul. Chris Paul if you have a salary. Cam Johnson or Jalen Smith. Give me Jalen Smith. 9,300 util for DK. Ja is 9,200, so I'd play Ja there. 6K left at util. DK GPP. Let's see. Well, Alec Burks is 5,900, so I'd probably say Alec Burks. Or Jordan Poole if you don't have Jordan Poole already, but I assume you're playing Jordan Poole. What do you think of Biyombo? We kind of talked about Biyombo earlier. He's going to split the center minutes with Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith got in foul trouble last game, so Biyombo played a lot. I think if Jalen Smith doesn't get in foul trouble today, he probably plays like 28 minutes, which means Biyombo plays 18, 20. I mean, if Biyombo plays 20 minutes, he could definitely do well in 20 minutes, but I don't look at last game because last game's an outlier. You know, Jalen Smith was in massive foul trouble last game, and he had to go to the locker room for a little bit too. Do you like Tyus Jones if Melton and Brooks are out? I would like Tyus Jones a lot if Melton and Brooks are out, but I'm expecting them to play. So yeah, if they're playing, I don't have that much interest in Tyus Jones, but if they're both out, then yeah, I think Tyus Jones would probably have to play a lot in that scenario, even if he wouldn't start. Bielitsa, Ibaka, Ingram, or Porter, Jalen Smith, and Burks. So Bielitsa, Ibaka, Ingram. Oh, give me the second there, Porter, Smith, and Burks. Worried about blowout in Memphis-Detroit game. Yeah, that's one of the games that has a lot of blowout risk. I think Phoenix, the Phoenix game has a lot of blowout risk too. But on this slate specifically, like I'm not gonna build my lineups assuming a blowout. I'm just gonna build my lineups assuming all the games stay close, and hopefully they do. I feel like more times than not, if you build your lineups hoping for a blowout or assuming a blowout, it's probably gonna not work in the end. Blowouts have just become so hard to predict. It seems like the games that you expect to blow out are the ones that stay close, and the games you expect to stay close are the ones that blow out. It's just been so unpredictable this year. Looney might get in foul trouble against J-Val. I mean, that's true, but again, like, they don't have anyone else. Like, I think they're going to play Looney as much as he can. Like, I think Looney's going to have to be out there guarding J-Val, because I don't think they want Bielitsa guarding J-Val. I don't think they want, like, I don't even know who else they would put on J-Val. Like, I think, for the most part, Looney might have to just match J-Val's minutes. So I think Looney's a decent value. He's not like he's never been a great point per minute player, but he should have to play a lot because they're going to need him out there against J-Val. They don't really have anyone else to put out there. Booker or J-Val? I would take J-Val straight up. Morrison, D-Book, or John Morant and Terrence Mann? Morrison, D-Book, or John Morant, Terrence Mann? Man, Gabriel, that's a really close one. Give me Morrison, D-Book, but that's a coin flip, honestly. I saw that Graham was projecting, but Hart and J-Val are better placed from New Orleans. I mean, Graham, is he even projecting that well? Let me see. Like, at his price point, I don't think Devontae Graham ever projects well. I mean, he's projected for 25.5 DK points, which is, at 5,900, like, that's not great. I mean, when you compare Jordan Poole, so Jordan Poole projects for 40 DraftKings points, and Devontae Graham projects for 25, and they're the same price point. Like, you just... Sure, one's going to be 60% owned, the other's going to be 5% owned, 2% owned, but man, like I just couldn't imagine playing Devontae Graham over Jordan Poole, personally. Especially not in cash. I mean, if you're not playing Jordan Poole in cash, don't play cash. Like, quit playing cash. Batum or Ibaka? I think if Ibaka's still starting, he's probably the guy to take. You know, Batum's kind of always been someone that I do worry about Batum anytime he comes back from injury. So I would say Ibaka, I guess. Is Biyombo a risky play? I mean, he really benefited last game with the Jalen Smith foul trouble. So, if you look at last game, obviously Biyombo did great, but he played a ton because Jalen Smith got in foul trouble. So, if Jalen Smith plays normal minutes today, that probably means Biyombo doesn't play nearly as much as he did last game. That's all I'll say. Would you leave money on the table to be different with so much value? I mean, it depends on how much you're leaving on the table. I think, $500, $600, $700 on the table is totally fine. If you're leaving like over $1,000 on the table, then that's probably too much. At that point, you could be using that salary to upgrade somewhere. Ja Cunningham, Ingram, Clark, Looney, Poole, Bielitsa, and Paul. Couldn't find a 3,900 forward I like. Oh, you already have Bielitsa? Man, so let's see. Ja Cunningham, Clark. I mean, I think that's solid, Ryan. I'm guessing so that's a full lineup. So I guess that's solid, yeah. I mean, if you have a 3,900 forward, Bielitsa would be the guy I'd take there. Ja or J-Val? Give me Ja straight up. Any interest in Killian Hayes? Not really, man. Like, Killian Hayes, God, his ceiling this year has just been so, like, minimal. I'm assuming you mean Killian Hayes and not Jackson Hayes. He has one game over 30 DK points out of his last 10. His minutes, like, have not been great this year. He's played, like, mid-20s most nights. I mean, he's 3,400, and he probably starts and plays, like, 28 minutes, so he's playable, but even 28 minutes from Killian Hayes, he could still score, like, 19 DraftKings points, so not someone I'm too excited about, personally. 198 people in here. Let's get some likes. Hey, yeah, guys, hit the like button. If we got over 198 people in here, that's awesome. Yeah, 187 viewers. Love to see it, baby. It's a 4-game slate. I didn't think we'd have as many people in here today, but I appreciate all you guys tuning in, even for this short slate. Okay, we just got the Knicks starting lineup, and it looks like it's the same as always. Alec Burks, Fournier, Barrett, Randall, Robinson, 10-4. And yeah, with Alec Burks starting at point guard, we kind of talked about that in my video yesterday. I think he's a pretty good play. I mean, he played like 36 minutes last game. Harder Wiggins? I think we've already answered that a lot already. Give me Wiggins. Ingram, CP3, or Booker? I mean, go Booker if you have the salary, I guess. But yeah. CP3 I like for the savings, but if you have the salary, just play Booker. Morant, Poole, Wiggins, Morris, Jalen Smith, Peyton, Terrence Mann, Paul. I mean, I think that's solid, Michael. I think that's a solid lineup for sure. How do you like Evan Fournier? I mean, Fournier's just been like, God, he's been so up and down this year. He's a really score-independent player. If he's not knocking down shots, he's going to do nothing. So if Fournier comes out and starts hitting a bunch of shots right out of the gate, you're probably going to be doing good because they'll play Fournier a lot when he's hot and when he's knocking down shots. But if Fournier comes out there and just he's ice cold or he's not shooting the ball well, I mean, you could see his minutes get cut. Tibbs loves to ride the hot hand, so Fournier's a really risky play. On a 4-game slate, I think it's fine, but yeah, not someone I'm too excited about personally. Ja, Poole, Iguodala, Smith, J-Val, Burks, Hart, Peyton. I mean, Iguodala is a risky option, to be honest with you. He's going to come off the bench, probably play like low 20s minutes. I never really ever play Iguodala. I guess Iguodala without Curry, without Draymond could have a good game. But, I think I'd play Bielitsa over Iguodala just straight up if it was my lineup. If you could make that work, I don't know. Ingram or D-Book on Yahoo? Give me D-Book. Jordan Poole or Marcus Morris? Give me Jordan Poole. Good luck, Noah, in chat. Good luck, Didi. Good luck, my man. 5,400 util. Let's see. Probably Jalen Smith I'd play there, Gabriel. Looney or Bielitsa? Give me Bielitsa. Would you play Barrett and Burks in the same lineup? Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't think those guys really negatively correlate in any way. Last game they both did really well. I think Burks scored 30-something DK points and Barrett went for 40 plus. And if those guys are playing well like they did last game, you'll get 36 minutes from Alec Burks, 36 minutes from RJ Barrett. Is Lyles in play tonight, or should I play Mann instead? With Isaiah Stewart back, I don't really have any interest in Trey Lyles, so I would definitely be playing Terrence Mann over him just straight up. Ja or Paul, GPP? Give me Ja. Burks or Morris? I would say I would say Burks straight up, but those are two really close ones for me, Michael. I think they project pretty similarly. I think they're both really good plays. Steven Adams, Burks, or Otto Porter, or Smart Adams, Burks, or Otto Porter. Give me Burks there. Got any PGA lineups going? I do not have any PGA lineups going. I've been so like locked in on NBA lately that, man, like I just haven't even looked at PGA. I think PGA, I'll probably only dabble in PGA like during the majors. So like, you know, when the Masters comes around, I'll probably get in some PGA lineups then. But right now I'm just so focused on NBA during the week, I just don't even think about PGA. But PGA was fun. Like, it was one of the first sports that came back after COVID, and I was really going in on PGA when it first came back. Got really into it, was sweating it a ton. Now that we have everything back, NBA's back, NFL's back, it's just hard to get too locked in on PGA for myself personally. But I love golf. I love the sport of golf. I've been playing golf. When I get free time, I definitely love it for sure. Favorite U2 under 16 on Yahoo. Already have Peyton. Let's see. Peyton would definitely be the guy to be taking there. But if you already have Peyton, I would say probably Terrence Mann. You're probably playing under 16 if you already have Peyton. I would say Terrence Mann because obviously with Isaiah Stewart back, I don't really have much interest in Trey Lyles anymore. How do we feel about NAW? Man, I think NAW just like a dart throw. I mean, he's just kind of been so up and down this year. Coming off the bench, like I'm not that interested in NAW. Melton or Jalen Smith? Give me Jalen Smith. Joe Val or Booker Util? I would say Joe Val straight up. There's really no one we need to pay up for to like 10K guys, so I don't think we need to play any guys under 4K. I mean, if you want to play like Ja plus Randall, or Ja plus Tatum, or Tatum plus Randall, like you're probably going to need to find someone cheap. But yeah, you're not going to, this isn't a stars and scrubs slate, that's for sure. Like the mid-range is really strong today. There's a lot of good plays in the 8K to like 5K range. That's where like a lot of the best plays of today are. Poole, Wiggins, Chris Paul, those guys. Marcus Morris, Reggie Jackson, those guys. Opinion on this Yahoo lineup: Paul Brown, Poole, Wiggins, Triple J, Jalen Smith, J. Val Payton. Paul Brown, Poole, Wiggins. I think that's solid, Jeremy. I think that's solid. Thanks for all your help. Using your Core 5 and J. Val leaves 7,400 for Ford and Util with Bielitsa at Util, 4K left for a Ford. Well, if you can play Bielitsa at Ford, so you would have 4K for a Util. So let's see. So I would probably just go like Looney there. Just play Bielitsa at Ford and then put Looney in the Util. All right, guys, I'm out of here. We've been live for like a long time, over 35 minutes. Went a little long today, but I appreciate you guys tuning in. It's a short slate today. News-wise, I don't think we're really waiting on anything else. Maybe just some starting lineups, but that's really it. I think that's all we're waiting for tonight. Or we are waiting for Memphis news with Dylan Brooks, who's questionable, D'Anthony Melton, who's questionable. I expect those guys play, but by some chance, if they do get ruled out, I think Tyus Jones would be a really good like late swap guy. I don't think anyone's going to play Tyus Jones today. And if Brooks and Melton get ruled out, with Bane doubtful too, I think Tyus Jones will look really good if you want to make a late swap play there. But that's it, guys. Best of luck tonight. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We will be back tomorrow. Really big slate tomorrow, I think. We'll be back an hour before lock. As always, I will see you guys then. Best of luck tonight, fellas. Peace.